Happened to be there in Israel too.
And so I was on a pilgrimage with my mom in Israel, and I turned around and I saw someone who looked super familiar.
Let everyone see what true evil is. This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come.
Social media is going crazy right now. People are saying Erika's perfect image is finally starting to crumble. And this time, it's not just random gossip. It's Charlie Kirk's own sister who's shaking things up. She allegedly leaked private text messages that, according to her, should have never been made public. These messages have flipped the entire story of Charlie and Erika's so-called fairy tale marriage upside down. From what's being said, Charlie might have never really known the woman he married. He used to talk like their love story was written in the stars. But now some people are whispering it might have been scripted by someone else. Rumors are swirling that Erika wasn't there just to fall in love, but to build a brand, attract powerful sponsors, and control the whole Turning Point USA narrative like a puppet master. And it doesn't stop there. The honey trap theory about Erika is spreading like wildfire. Some even claim she had ties to high international figures. The kind of people who don't just donate money, but pull strings behind the scenes. There's talk that these same connections were putting pressure on Charlie in the months leading up to that tragic day. The scariest part, what's still hidden might be worse than what we already know. It's starting to look like the Erika Kirk rabbit hole goes way deeper than anyone thought. Could it really be true that her job, her first meeting with Charlie, even their marriage were all carefully planned steps? Because in Erika's own words, nothing is a coincidence. And now those leaked texts supposedly from a private family chat.
Every time Erika got involved in a Turning Point event, something felt off. People got pulled from their posts for no clear reason, replaced with names nobody recognized. They weren't loud about it. They just appeared. They'd hover, take notes, make little adjustments.
Have everyone losing their minds. In one heartbreaking message, Charlie tells his sister, "I don't even feel like I know her anymore." That line hits hard. It sounds like a man realizing too late that his world, and maybe his entire marriage, was built on a lie. Charlie even complained that Erika had changed completely in the last year, acting like she was the real power at Turning Point USA, making big moves without ever asking him first. A whistleblower from inside Turning Point USA just dropped a bombshell. They claim Erika's behavior in those final months wasn't just off, it was strategic. According to them, it was like she was rehearsing for a brand new role, one that would replace Charlie himself. Every time she showed up at an event, something about the energy shifted, the vibe changed. The crowd looked different. Even the social media posts started getting edited, captions rewritten, photos cropped, or like someone was rewriting history in real time. Then something even stranger happened. A few regulars who always attended Turning Point events suddenly vanished from the guest list. In their place appeared a handful of new faces. People no one recognized. They didn't mingle. They didn't network. They just watched. Always they're taking quiet notes, whispering to Erika's assistants, and tweaking the smallest details of each event.
It wasn't like they were running things outright, more like they were watching, testing reactions. And they did strange things, subtle stuff, asking for background checks on volunteers who'd already cleared, rerouting internal comms through temporary systems nobody could verify, requesting access to attendee lists that had nothing to do with their role. What most people don't realize is that Erika had already started acting like CEO before Charlie even died. She was giving orders, making executive calls, speaking for the organization in ways that made all of us uncomfortable.
It gave everyone this eerie feeling that the organization wasn't being run anymore. It was being monitored. One former employee said it felt like the walls themselves were listening. They said nothing happened abruptly. Erika and her crew moved slow, like they were testing the limits, studying reactions before making their next move. Everything was done carefully, methodically, like a long-term plan unfolding right under everyone's noses. And if these leaked texts are real, we might have only seen the beginning of that plan. The whistleblower story adds a whole new cloud of mystery around Charlie and Erika's marriage, and it's shaking the conservative influencer world to its core. According to what's now circulating online, Charlie was under massive pressure from some of Turning Point's biggest donors, people who allegedly wanted total control. They supposedly pushed him to back down from his goal of bringing transparency and accountability to the organization. But here's the twist. While Charlie was trying to do the right thing, his own wife, Erika, was reportedly stepping up behind the scenes, making executive calls, directing staff, and slowly pushing him out of the empire he built with his own hands. That's when things started getting dark. According to multiple insiders, the deeper you dig, the more it looks like this entire relationship wasn't just romance. It might have been recruitment. Some now believe Erika wasn't simply Charlie's wife, but a planted figure.
The way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. My moral character is now being put into question, Megan. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this.
A calculated player in a much bigger game. People inside Turning Point started whispering that she might have been reporting to outside forces, the same ones funding and quietly steering the organization from the shadows. But here's the question that's driving everyone crazy. Where's the proof? To find answers, you've got to go back to where it all began. That first innocent dinner in New York City. The official story says Charlie and Erika met in 2018 at Bill Sperger's during what was supposed to be a casual business meeting. Sounds simple, right? Except when you look closer, the details don't quite add up. Erika once said, "I was invited to Bill's Burgers and thought it was just a business interview. We sat down and he grilled me for 3 hours. On paper, that sounds normal until you realize something shocking. At that time, Erika didn't have any background in politics, communication, or leadership. So, who invited her to meet one of the most high-profile conservative figures in America? Who arranged that dinner? And why would someone with no visible connections be granted such exclusive access to Charlie Kirk, a man surrounded by handlers, PR staff, and political gatekeepers? That's where the theories started piling up.
Does anyone else think this is Erika Kirk putting in fake tears into her eyes?
Some believe that meeting was no random coincidence. It was the first move in a long-term plan. Step 1, earn Charlie's trust. Step 2, infiltrate his inner circle. Step 3, take control. When you line up the timeline, the mysterious New York dinner, the quiet structural changes at Turning Point USA, and Erika's sudden rise to power after the tragedy, the pattern looks less like chance and more like a carefully scripted operation. As one former insider put it, Charlie always believed in destiny. Maybe this time, destiny was written by someone else. It all began with what looked like a simple dinner between two strangers. But now that the puzzle pieces are surfacing, that chance meeting doesn't look random at all. Fans are realizing that what appeared to be a love story might have been an assignment all along. And it gets even wilder. In another interview, Erika mentioned something that in hindsight feels almost too perfect to be coincidence. She claimed that before that New York dinner, she had already seen Charlie at the Tel Aviv airport while traveling with her mother on a pilgrimage to Israel. She said she didn't know who he was, only that he looked familiar. But just days after flying back to the US, a mutual friend whose name has never been revealed suddenly introduced them. That's a level of coincidence that's hard to swallow.
So we get to Bill's Burgers, and I'm there thinking it's a business interview.
It started that way.
Right. So we sit down, and you grill me for, 3 hours? Easily. On philosophy, politics, religion, culture, economics. What else? Everything else you can imagine, he grilled me. Anything he talks about on his podcast show, he grilled me on. Pretty much.
Just didn't record it.
And then afterwards, he got finished with his burger, and he just sat there, and he looked at me. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to hire you. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need this job. I'm doing plenty of other things here in Manhattan. He's like, I'm going to date you.
If the theory is true that certain powerful donors behind Turning Point USA wanted to control Charlie by placing someone special in his life, the next logical question becomes why Erika? What made her the perfect candidate for something this sophisticated? That's when people started digging into her family background, and what they found made a lot of folks nervous. Allegedly, Erika's parents had deep military and intelligence ties, the kind that don't just disappear with time. People close to the Kirk family say it was Charlie's sister, Mary, who first raised red flags. She never trusted Erika, and apparently her reasons went far beyond jealousy or personality clashes. Mary reportedly stumbled across strange details buried in Erika's family records, things the public had never heard about. According to an older interview, Erika once said her mother moved to Arizona for a business opportunity related to the Department of Homeland Security. That might sound harmless, but when you dig deeper, her mother's business partner allegedly had a background in private security and once worked with DHS on a defense-related project. Soon after, the family's network in Arizona began expanding fast, suddenly connecting with people tied to private defense contractors in the Phoenix and Scottsdale area. That's the same circle that handles classified contracts, surveillance tech.
She was getting involved with the government, so Homeland Security and Department of Defense. And so she had other business partners that were out here that were already in that industry, even one that was a mentor of hers. So it was really convenient to be able to come all together in one place to really have that.
And government logistics. No wonder skeptics are convinced Erika's presence in Charlie's life wasn't purely emotional. It might have been strategic. Now, looking back at everything, the coincidental meetings, the mystery connections, and the quiet rise of Erika Kirk, it's hard not to wonder if this story was ever really about love at all. Back in 2018, Turning Point USA was blowing up, and young Charlie Kirk was the rising star pulling big media and big money attention. Outside the grip of the old guard, or so it seemed, if anyone wanted to keep him aligned, the easiest play wasn't a fight. It was a friendly approach. Enter Erika. Smart, polished, confident, and presented like someone with serious national security savvy. The full package on paper. As one media analyst put it, if you want to influence a figure like Charlie, you don't send a loud disruptor. You send someone he'll trust. Someone who eases his guard down without him noticing. And that's what insiders say began to happen fast. In under 2 years, Erika supposedly moved from outsider to center stage at TPUSA, popping up at internal events and promo videos and step-by-step getting access to higher-level rooms where real decisions get made to the public. It looked.
Intervene, and she'd just talk over him like he didn't even matter anymore. And then just days after he died, they announced her as the new CEO, like she was some kind of savior stepping in during a tragedy. That didn't sit right with anyone who'd been there.
Like a supportive partner standing by her husband. But to staffers, it felt like a slow, careful shift in who actually carried weight. A former staffer said the entire mood flipped when Erika walked in. Eyes shifted, people paused, and folks waited for her take before they looked to Charlie's. When one person can tilt a room like that, you know something deeper is moving, even if nobody says it out loud. Looking back, some say the spark wasn't New York. It was that quick moment in Israel. A glance that allegedly kicked off a chain of events reshaping a whole movement's future. Some call it destiny. Others say it looked planned with near military precision. The timing, the access, the optics, the outcomes. As more puzzle pieces are rumored to surface, from family ties to security circles to the rapid rise inside TPUSA's structure to the moment Erika stepped into power after the tragedy, one question keeps echoing. Was this a love story or a professional operation dressed up as romance? Because if those circulating theories are even partly accurate, then the destiny Charlie believed in might have been a script written line by line, move by move, long before he realized what role he was playing. That's the fear fans keep repeating. And
our goal with the Romanian Angels Project was to show these children the true American heart during the holiday season. And what better way to do that than having our United States military personally deliver the gift?
Why these claims won't fade from the timeline, Erika's public story about her family always sounded simple. A strong self-made mom and a dad, Kent, not really involved in her work or career. But as people re-examined old documents and corporate filings, that image stopped matching what the paperwork appeared to show. According to those sharing the records, those records point to Erika's mother, Lori, as founder of Aztec International, a firm in technology, defense, and strategic security with work tied to data surveillance systems and digital warfare support gear, lanes usually reserved for players with serious clearances and deep trust. That's not small-time contracting. That's specialized territory with gatekeepers and oversight. And the executive listings matter here, too, because Erika's father, Kent, is listed as Director of Program Research at a tech, which isn't just a lab title. It's hands-on with implementation inside defense-oriented projects. According to those same records, in other words, rather than being separate like the public story implied, it looks like both parents were aligned in the same business lane, coordinating on government and security-adjacent activities. To critics, that paints a very different backdrop.
I don't trust her. I think she was set up to, be his wife.
Right.
And then, hey, if he turncoats, you're up. Because if you look at her, like,
because she's taking over Turning Point, right?
Within 2 weeks,
right.
You have a grieving wife, and she's on a podcast right away.
Right.
Not proof of anything by itself, but a context that makes the rapid trust, rapid access, and rapid elevation around Charlie feel a lot less random. To supporters, it's all coincidence and competence. A capable woman with a solid family resume stepping up when the spotlight hit. To everyone else, it's the lingering mystery that won't quit. Relationship or operation? Which one was it really? Not long after that, Lori, Erika's mother, launched another venture called GTK Industries, a company officially described as providing digital security solutions and data analysis for the Department of Defense, Department of Homeland Security, and intelligence units. Sounds standard enough until you look closer at what that really means. On paper, GTK's mission statement talks about enhancing the protection of technical borders, analyzing national risks, and supporting technology security infrastructure. But anyone familiar with how the defense world works knows that's coded language for something much deeper. Involvement in high U.S. information collection, cyber operations, and surveillance infrastructure. That's not your average tech startup. That's the kind of access most people never even hear about. So now people are asking the question that's got everyone online buzzing. If this is the kind of environment Erika grew up in.
Hey, smiling. Oh, yeah, I remember when we had... Just got smoked in front of everybody, JFK style, and you're smiling?
Yeah.
So that's weird. That's number one, right? Memorial. Can we all agree that shit looked like fucking, a WWE event? Like, that was WrestleMania.
Right.
Fireworks and all. I'm like, what is this?
Was she being groomed for something far more strategic than the public ever realized? One former Phoenix contractor said, Aztec and GEK aren't flashy companies, but the projects they handle, let's just say they're the type that never get listed on websites. He added that both firms were tied to contracts with restricted access, undisclosed funding, and layers of quiet oversight. That kind of secrecy doesn't happen by coincidence. But here's where it gets even weirder. The most mysterious part of this story isn't the defense work. It's a charity that Erika proudly used to promote called Romanian Angels. On the surface, it sounded like a heartfelt humanitarian mission. A group helping orphans in Romania partnered with the US military to bring love and hope during the holiday season. In promo clips, Erika's voiceover was warm, emotional, almost cinematic. It looked like the perfect image of compassion and service. But when independent reporters and online sleuths started digging into the organization's background, something didn't sit right. Public records showed that Romanian Angels operated from a location uncomfortably close to a US military base in Eastern Europe, a site that's been referenced in several investigative reports about mismanaged orphanage systems and unresolved disappearances. To be clear, there's no confirmed link between Erika's organization and any wrongdoing. But the coincidence of location, the secrecy of the funding, and the lack of public records raised huge questions. Was Romanian Angels really just a small charity? Or was it a cover for something deeper? That's the question being asked across social media threads and investigative blogs right now. Even stranger Lori, Erika's mother, wasn't just a quiet supporter. She was originally listed as a co-founder and even the narrator of the charity's first promotional video. In the old clip, she smiles as she talks about how technology can connect the kindness of Americans with the children of Europe. It was the kind of soft PR content that wins hearts and funding. But fast forward a few years and Lori's name has all but vanished from the organization's public footprint. Mentions of her as co-founder gone. Any notes of collaboration between a tech and Romanian Angels deleted, archived web pages taken down. And when a journalist recently asked Lori about it, her response was short and cold. I'm no longer involved in it. A former communications officer for the charity remembered things very differently. Lori was proud of that project. They said she'd talk about it constantly until one day she told us, we should keep it quiet. No one asked why, but you could feel that something had changed. So what happened? Why would someone who once bragged about a feel-good humanitarian mission suddenly cut every tie to it and erase her own history with it? Was there a behind-the-scenes scandal, a quiet government intervention, or was there a sensitive link between the charity, the tech companies, and defense networks that someone wanted buried? Many people now believe Romanian Angels might have been more than just a goodwill project, possibly a small piece of a much larger web where technology, defense, and humanitarian work quietly overlap. And when you connect those dots, from the cybersecurity firms in Arizona to the orphanage charity in Eastern Europe, a chilling pattern starts to emerge. It paints a picture of a family deeply embedded in industries where secrets, influence, and access go hand in hand. Whether it's coincidence or coordination, one thing's clear. The story behind Erika Kirk's background isn't nearly as simple as it was first presented. Some analysts believe that projects like these aren't random at all. They're designed, a perfect balance between public image and private agenda. And while no one can prove every detail, one thing stands out crystal clear. Erika Kirk's family isn't just successful. They're strategically positioned. Every move, every company, every charity they've touched seems to exist at the intersection of power, technology, and influence. It's not your average family story. It's a web wrapped in kindness, polished speeches, and smiling faces. Because when you connect a Tech International, GTK Industries, and Romanian Angels, what you see isn't just a timeline. It's a pattern. Each piece fits too perfectly to ignore. To the public, Erika is a graceful woman of faith and leadership. But to observers who've looked deeper, the picture is far more complex. A carefully layered image where soft words and sweet charity mask something far more intricate. And what better way to win hearts than through the military itself handing out toys to children? That's how Erika once described her project Angel Romania. The visuals were picture perfect. Soldiers hugging kids, Christmas lights, snow falling gently, an image too beautiful to question. But when you put all those puzzle pieces side by side, the coincidences start losing their innocence. Remember that chance meeting story Erika always told? The one about bumping into Charlie Kirk at an airport in Israel while traveling with her mother on a religious pilgrimage sounds cute, right? Like fate at work. But when you put that next to the backdrop, her mother's deep history with defense and intelligence-linked work, it doesn't sound so random anymore. Could that trip have been less about faith and more about function? And then comes another twist that no one can ignore. Erika once worked on Donald Trump's campaign while still tied to the pageant circuit. Meanwhile, Charlie's father, Robert Kirk, was one of the engineers behind Trump Tower in Chicago. Two worlds in business and politics intersecting long before Charlie and Erika ever said hello. Was that really divine alignment? Or carefully arranged proximity within the same orbit of influence? Because after looking at all these overlapping details, the industries, the connections, the geography, it becomes hard to keep calling them coincidences. It starts looking like a web that was spun long before either of them realized they were caught in it. And then came Charlie's passing, and that's when everything turned chillingly strange. The world expected grief, silence, mourning. But what they saw from Erika shocked everyone. In footage from memorial events, she was often smiling, laughing, even appearing unusually close to other men, all while the official service was still happening. Fans described it as off, too calm, almost staged. Then came another twist. The memorial that was supposed to take place in Charlie's Illinois hometown was abruptly moved to Arizona. The same place where Erika's family lives and where her mother's company is headquartered. That raised more than a few eyebrows. Charlie's own parents and sister, his closest family, didn't even attend. Sources close to them claimed they refused because they felt something wasn't right. They were reportedly unhappy with how the event was handled, the guest list, and even how the service was filmed. And just when it couldn't get murkier, whispers started about J.D. Vance. According to some insiders, he might have interfered with the process of returning Charlie's body from Utah. 1. Rumor even suggests that the body was quietly removed from Air Force 2 before the official autopsy ever took place. Nothing has been proven. No confirmations, no denials, just silence. But that silence is what's making people talk louder. From Israel to New York, from Arizona to Washington, D.C., every piece of this story connects like threads pulled from the same spool. A chance encounter, a family with defense ties, a charity near a classified base, a memorial relocated under odd circumstances. Each one could be innocent on its own but together they form a pattern too sharp to ignore. As one viral comment put it, with this many coincidences, maybe nothing's a coincidence anymore. Right now, the only thing everyone agrees on is that someone somewhere is hiding something. And until the truth comes out, every smile from Erika Kirk, every polished speech, every public gesture will be picked apart frame by frame. She not out of hate, but because the public feels something deeper is being covered up. And history has shown on that instinct is rarely wrong. This whole saga isn't just about love or power. It's about how truth itself gets buried under charm and presentation. It's a brutal reminder that in today's world, reality is layered. The truth doesn't always live on the surface. It hides behind perfect lighting, Instagram captions, and staged tears. Every smile can be rehearsed. Every handshake can be scripted. Every miracle meeting can be part of a long game. Because let's be real, in the modern age, stories sell better than facts. People build images, craft emotions, and call it authenticity. But behind the curtain, deals, pressure, and contracts keep the story alive. So maybe the real question isn't who's lying. It's who's writing the story. What do you think? Are we looking at a series of harmless coincidences, or a plan set in motion years ago by forces that never wanted us to notice? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you want me to keep digging into JD Vance's rumored involvement and the funding trails behind Turning Point USA, make sure to subscribe, share, and turn on notifications because the next part might just uncover truths some people are desperately trying to bury. See you in the next one.